Making segments in 2K19. It's difficult, but you can do it. So you're going to need 3 controllers, or at least 3 to 4 controllers, because otherwise the AI is not going to wait for you, and the AI is going to ruin the entire segment for you. So before we get into this, I already made an intro video, so like an intro to the segment, which is kind of like an opening. You know, like an opening talk show thing. Like, you know, you get your opening, you get your intro, you get your music, you get the credits and everything else. So that's already made, and I'll show you guys how I made that in the editing process part of the video. So this is just the game part right now. So you're gonna want to take whatever superstar you're planning on doing the segment with. So in this case, Sky Outlaw is interviewing Buddy Murphy. They're both facing each other. And you want to make sure that both of the superstars that are being interviewed, both the interviewer and the interviewee, are facing each other. So you want to make sure that the targeting is correct. And the easiest way to do that is just to quickly turn on the targeting indicators, and you're fine. Turn off the controller help, because otherwise it'll tell you to distract somebody, or to do this, or to do that. Turn that off. You won't need this anyway, because you're going to be going into the highlight reel. But just to save time, just turn it off anyway. So right after you get your positioning, so this is where I want the blade to be, because he's not going to be in the shot. So just take your third wrestler. If it's a third wrestler that's not a part of the segment, get him out of the shot. Get him out of the camera angle. And then you're going to go into highlight reel. Then you're going to find the camera angle. Normally I like to, since there's a spotlight, normally I like to do this where it's kind of like this. Maybe a little bit zoomed out depending on the angle. I usually don't like to get the full on. This is actually the first time I've ever been actually able to get full on, like Sky's heels and the dress full on. Usually I don't get that. So you can get a camera angle, multiple camera angles, different camera angles. You can do whatever you want. So normally I like the light to be on the interviewee, the one who's getting interviewed. So you can see the back light hitting Buddy Murphy's back here. And I would do this. And I would skip to a part where her shoulders aren't rolling. So I don't like the shoulder rolling animation. So I usually start it here. And then I have about, let's see, that's 23 seconds about that. So I have about 15 to 20 seconds of this. And you want a good buffer. You want to have at least a good 10 to 15 seconds of them just standing here. And then you would click preview. And have that here. Record it. There you go. And that's pretty much it for the video game part. So in the next part, I will show you guys the editing process. And this is where things can get a little bit tricky. Okay, so you're now in your editing software. Now this is where things could get a little bit confusing. Depending on how good you are at editing, I've had 9 years of video editing experience with multiple different softwares. Camtasia 2021 is what I use, but pretty much almost any software out there can do these effects. It might just be named something different. So first off, I'm going to play the intro for the In the Cloud segment with Sky Outlaw, just for you guys to hear that. And then I'll tell you guys how I got that intro, how you guys can get your own intro for the segment without getting in trouble with copyright strikes and the stuff that isn't good, because some of you might want to monetize your videos. I don't personally, but some of you might. So I'm going to quickly let that play, and I'll be back when it's over. Okay, so there was that little intro. And how I created that intro was I found a background off of Pixabay. So this is a website where you can get graphics, vector graphics, backgrounds, videos, images, anything you need with no attribution required, free for commercial use. So you can use these at any time. This is a website where literally users post things for people to use. In videos or whatever it be. And this website has never failed me. I've used this website for school projects and everything else, so you should be able to find something. If not, there's plenty of more sites that do that. So I went ahead and I imported it right here. And I'm just going to show you something that I just did. And that was how I got that to be pink was that I colorized it. I added a colorized effect and I got it and I selected pink and that's what happened with that particular background. And you can have it for this one. There it is. Now, how I got the text on that was I went to annotations and I went to this. You want to get something that doesn't have a box around it for this particular thing. And then I went to behaviors and I just went to, I think it was it reveal or was it scale? Oh, I think it was reveal, I think. Yeah, or something. I added an effect to it. And it and that's how you got it, was the effect of the text going up and down in the intro and stuff like that. And those are just simple effects that you can add to the text. So now that we went over that, let's get right into the segment here. So I have a WWE cheer crowd sound effect. It's a simple cheer crowd sound effect that you can find on YouTube or whatever. MP3 convert it, and there you go. So what I like to do is I like to have a little bit of crowd noise in the background. So I turn down the gain to 10. And this isn't going to matter relatively from it being 100 to 10. But I turned it down to 10 because I want background noise. I want the crowd to be there. But I also don't want them to be too loud. Even though that there's no talking in this segment, it's just text boxes. I wanted to make it seem like a real segment. When Brian Outlaw gets interviewed, that's when I do the promo. Or that's when I actually talk as the character, and that's the only time that there's talking usually in this segment. So I have this cheer. So you're going to hear it here as it comes up. And obviously there's a text box right there. And how I do that, annotations, ABC, text box. And then I go down to Ziggly Zo. You can change the text. I usually normally like the triangle, the fill to be solid, and the opacity to be down to 70. I don't have an outline or anything like that around it. And then I like to add fade in and fade out transitions to each of those text boxes. Let's make this a little bit. So then, I have something that says, thanks for joining me, buddy. Why would you want to come to RCW? And then I have this little bit of space in between so that it kind of shows that both Sky and Buddy Murphy are actually thinking of what they want to say. Came here to dominate, and I only put that there just to save time. And then, once your segment is over, once this segment is over in particular, I usually transition to the next thing, or I transition to the next match, or whatever it may be. So that's really how you get it done. It's simple. This is just simple. If there's a storyline going on, what I like to do is I like to reference my questions around that particular storyline. Sometimes I have attacks happen, like I had Brian Outlaw come off the edge of the screen and attack Chris Danger. There's tons of different things that you can do, and that's all just highlight reel stuff. That's all just what I showed you in the previous part of this video was the highlight reel stuff. And that's all it is. It's time consuming, I'll say that, but it gets easier and easier and easier the more you do it. The first time when I created this segment, it was really really difficult. Now I can create this in my sleep. It's not that hard. And it's a simple interview segment. These usually last about a minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes long of a video, and then you would just go to OBS, go to add a source, go to media source, go to local file, and find it in your videos and then add it. And then have a scene for it and then just transition to it. And there you go. That's pretty much all there is to it. So in case you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to reach me in a different way, that's easy too. Just go on my channel. There's my Discord, and you can click the logo, and you'll be guided there. I'll put it in the link of this video too, just so that it's easier for you guys. And I could actually help create segments for you. I've edited stuff for Sin, my buddy Young Sin, Sakate, and a bunch of other people for their shows. So if you need help and you want to talk to me directly, then you can do that easily, and we could just get into a video call or voice call or whatever you're comfortable with, and we can create something together. So, anyways, that's how In the Clouds was created, and you can do this with pretty much any segment. It all depends. Some segments may require you to do more things, and others may not. With something as simple as this, it doesn't really require much manpower for me to do this, so it's pretty simple. But I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on another video.